Good evening, Aurora Esports. My name is TheLaw, and I am joined here tonight with TeddyEm, and we are going to be casting the LKEZL8L barrier-free AGPHADA water cooler dirty fountain bowl for you. How you doing tonight, Teddy?
I'm quite excited. This is our first bowl game, and my first casting as well. I mean, this is gonna be the first ever game that I'm ever gonna cast. But yeah, quite excited. We got the raccoons presenting chinchillas here, and chinchillas haven't won a match, which is nuts for the roster they have. But I honestly think they could pull maybe a win for this whole season. They hopefully get a win.
I think, coming out of the season, we've had quite the season. I mean, we've had some really incredible teams just come up through the ranks. So all of the players here tonight are really great players in their own ranks. We've had so many incredible teams just really rise up. I mean, we had what a absolute banger of a match between the Gangsta Turrets and the New Zealand Numbies, where the Turrets were able to take the undefeated Numbies to a match 5, which was the first time in the entirety of the season that the Numbies were taking a match 5. So anything can happen tonight. Any players you thinking of watching out for tonight that you think could really have the potential to pop off?
I really just think it's just got to be like, okay, this is a new patch as well, so this is going to be very interesting because we don't know what to expect. We don't know what anybody's going to run. So to be honest, I think we got to look at like the DPS because I think DPS is like really good now. So I'm looking at Mikey and Oaks, I think, because they're the pretty much a pop off potential. Well, those are going to be like the ones to watch, and I think they're going to be like the hard carry and see who's going to edge to the win.
I think it's going to be a great match, and I think you pointed it out really well that this is a new patch, and for those that are joining us here tonight who aren't familiar, Overwatch got a massive patch today. We're talking pretty much an entire overhaul to the game. Health pools are increased, damage has been increased a little bit, but I really think the big kicker here tonight is the fact that first, every hero now has some form of passive regeneration, which is big. And I don't know if you've had the chance to play tonight, uh, but there have been some, that really does change the dynamics of the bit. And now DPS, instead of getting a fast reload whenever they get an elimination, the damage they deal does prevents 20% of oncoming healing, which in the games which with the games I played were really impactful. So I think really we're going to be looking to the DPS today to see what they're capable of, and then looking to see how the supports change it up and see how they're able to adjust. And supports got a little bit of a shift where their healing regeneration is increased pretty quickly. So anything can happen. I think we're going to be in for a great match. I look forward to seeing what these teams are capable of. And I think tonight in particular, the player I really want to keep an eye on is Purple Jesus. There's a lot of hype around the trade for Purple Jesus. So we'll see what he's capable of tonight, and let's see if they can walk away with a bowl game tonight. But we're entering in right now. First map is going to be Junkertown, and Junkertown got a little bit of a rework, so I'm excited to see what they're. Oh no, this is the different Junkertown. This is the arena one. I'm thinking the payload one. So any thoughts before we go in, Teddy?
No, I'm just kind of curious on what they're going to run. So we're going to see in a minute here what they're going to run. We got the Raccoons pretty much doing their normal comp with the Junker Queen, which I guess I don't know. Junker Queen is not as good, I think, since last season, but we'll see if they can pull it off. Looks like they're going for a Ram comp for the Chinchillas, which they're gonna go heavy brawl here. So let's see how it goes.
And we enter our first game. Chinchillas are going to be starting off. Purple Jesus is going to be on our ramp tonight. Mikey going on to the Sojourn. And we have our good old-fashioned May. Teams are beginning to enter into the main area and just beginning to really brawl it out. Good wall coming down from Mikey. But block is already forced out immediately. And Skyshooter goes down. Early pick off by Titanic B. And now the rest of the team is just flying on top of Purple Jesus. Purple Jesus is going down incredibly low, but Mikey is going down even lower, and Tannic B again is able to catch Mikey out. Tannic B just getting 3 early this fight, and Oak's able to finish up Purple Jesus. One quick note for all of our people out there. The fact is that the ultimate charges go 10% slower now, so we're going to be seeing a lot less ults in this game, and we're going to see them build up a little bit slower, but relatively quick game, no ults really online right now. So we're currently just seeing the Raccoons just set up here as they begin to figure out how they want to approach this. Ash Dynamite's being pretty impactful right now. We're seeing an early Ash Dynamite get Mikey. You see Sharpertron going early, and Dynamic Mike Skythrow again caught out. Both DPS for the Chinchillas going down early, and Tannic B is just pulling them to pieces right now, but Sharpertron is able to get the comeback, and it looks like that's going to be another team reset.
Yeah, I mean, Genji's really good at this point. Oh, it looks like Oaks has been taken down. This could be a good push for Chinchillas.
So we see big axe swing onto Purple Jesus, but they're able to charge forward, and the Raccoons have to pull back just a little bit. Currently, Aurora is able to contest on the point, but he has to get out with his life. Wiggle Higgle low and taken down by Mikey. Mikey able to really start kicking up into high gear. Mikey getting 2, and it looks like we're going to see the first flip for the Chinchillas.
Yeah, it's quite unfortunate that Oaks died there. I think they would have won point if he didn't get picked off like that, but it looks like they're getting ults online now, so we got 2 ults from the Raccoons, and we got 1 ult from Riddle Dog, so it looks like they might do rush. Who's gonna go rush first?
Both teams preparing position, keeping an eye on Wiggle Higgle. My guess is they're going to engage with that big wall coming down from Skyker. But the first rush comes out from Riddle Dog. Tannic be able to take down Riddle Dog early. Wiggle Higgle is able to follow up with his own, and then we see Beats on both sides. Beats able to keep both teams pretty alive for now. Purple Jesus pops up his ult really quickly, and we see Bob fly on top of the point, out of nowhere to see. Dynamic Mac is able to connect to 1. Purple Jesus goes down, and the Raccoons are able to fight this back and flip the point, and they're going to be able to take the first point away.
Alright, that was not bad from the Chinchillas at all. Looking at that, the Raccoons actually used all of their ults there, so it looks like the Chinchillas will have 2 ults online, which Overclock is very good, so we can see Mikey getting some picks, because Mikey's a really good Soldier player, and we got the Blizzard just in case if that doesn't work out.
All right, both teams clashing early. Mikey's able to go down, and he immediately pops ult. We see him starting to go off. Tannic B is able to take down Riddle Dog. How did that happen? Mike is able to take the head off of OKS. Tannic B is able to respond in turn, but Charveron is able to take Tannic B down to the grave. Well, currently, an evil 3v3. Purple Jesus is able to take down Tannic B, and that should be the first point for the Chinchillas. Now, it looks like a little bit of contest. Aurora is still contesting a little bit. They might get staggered out. Aurora is getting staggered hard. Oh! Aurora is able to barely skip with his life.
Alright, well, that was good. Mikey only used Overclock. Now they still have the Blizzard. So this Blizzard's going to be big, probably trying to Blizzard the tank. So he's not able to play.
Alright, looks like the Raccoons are wrapping around the left. They're going whole ring around the rosy. OKS is currently trying to put down a little bit of pressure, but he goes down to half health early. All eyes are on Tannic B to build up this blade quickly and see if he can build it before Charvatron is able to build that beat. Alright, teams are able to brawl early on here. Gas goes through Tannic B. Big Blizzard able to catch out 1. They're able to catch out Roar. And Roar goes down early, Purple Jesus, but OKS is able to even it up. And Tannic B with the blade. This man is unstoppable. He is causing heads to roll. It's like being back in revolutionary France all over again. Purple Jesus able to take down Wiggle Higgle though, but he pays for his life from OKS. And the Raccoons are able to flip the point with 87 on for the Chinchillas.
Okay, looks like we got support ults coming online for Chinchillas pretty soon, and Purple Jesus is really close to his ult. And then we got 2 ults from the Raccoons, and Ash almost has his ult. So I think what's gonna happen here is, they're gonna rush has to be popped up first from Riddle Dog, which she does.
Big dynamite from OKS, and we see the rush come out from Riddle Dog. Bob comes out immediately to follow. Look for Wiggle Higgle to use that. Oh, Wiggle Higgle immediately uses it. And Tannic B again finding a first pick. This man has been dictating the tempo of this game. Dynamac goes down, but Purple Jesus swiftly follows, so it really comes down to the DPS now. And OKS is able to find Skyker, but Mikey returns in kind. So now it's down to Tanic B and Roar, and Roar takes out Mikey, and Wiggle Higgle takes out his counterpart in Wriggle Dog. So we're going to be going to last fight territory. We'll see if the Chinchillas are even able to touch.
Doesn't look like they're gonna touch. But yeah, they're not gonna touch. But it looks like there's both ults for Lucio's, and then we have a big Danny Mac ult. So, but they get a force out Suzy from Wiggle Higgle, hopefully to actually get some picks off of the Raccoons or Chinchillas. My bad.
Already they're starting this fight early on, and Chinchillas are really trying to dictate the tempo. Nice use of abilities from Purple Jesus. Purple Jesus able to take down Dynamac. Without the tanks, it looks like that the Chinchillas are going to be able to take an early capture on this point. They're chasing away OKS. OKS is down, and OKS is getting a big stagger up, but Wiggle Higgle is able to take down Mikey on the way out. So it looks like it is possible, but we see a big beat from Roar, and it comes in just too late to save Dynamac. Roar is probably going to want to have that beat back, but hopefully at least it pays out to get them out with their lives. But big usage of that beat, and I'm sure he's going to be wanting that one back here shortly.
Yeah, that is unlucky. Charvatron still keeps her beat, which is very good, big advantage. 4 ults for the Chinchillas, which is really big, versus 1 ult, or about 3 ults for the Raccoons.
See, Purple Jesus really wanted holding up this ult, but Dynamac is looking to use that couch. And again, Tanic V has the blade, but this time, Charvatron is able to have a perfect beat response. Daniel Mac going down to Skyker early. Purple Jesus slow and taken down by Roar. Even fight right now, but Skyker uses that May Blizzard. Roar is frozen, and he's going to be taken down here really shortly. OKS is trying to get some picks. He gets one onto Mikey. Tanic V fighting as always, but it looks like he's going to have to get out, and hopefully with his life. OKS and Tanic V are still putting pressure on this point right now, and they're starting to get that flip, so they're requiring the Chinchillas to go forward, and Tanic V's able to find Charvatron. He finds Skyker, and they flip the point!
Yeah, I'm really surprised that actually happened. Oaks and Tanic V holding the line, but just them two and actually capping the point. Used Bob, but it was pretty much worth it to actually capture the point.
Tanic V is going on a rampage right now. This man wants his cakes, is having it too, and he's taking the whole bakery along with it.
Yeah, his Genji is insane right now. He's about to build another blade, 70% once again. And Mikey does have overclock, so we'll see if he can actually get picks.
Chinchillas need to win this fight. They're so close to getting their first point, but they have to win it to stay alive in this match. OKS was able to get an early pick onto Charvatron, but big ult by Dynamac. Purple Jesus is able to take down Tanic V, but Dynamac is able to finish it off with Mikey and takes down Wriggle Dog with a big axing. Purple Jesus incredibly low, 95%, but he's going to be certainly taken down, and he indeed is. And Roar is able to clean up Skyker, and I think that is it. I think the Raccoons are going to start us off here with a clean 3-0. Looking towards Charvatron to see if they can get on top. But no, Raccoons are able to take a swift lead early on with a nice 3-0 to start it off, and Tanic V just
what a performance.
Insane.
Yeah. Always getting Blade, gets Blade 4 times. Oaks also did well getting picks in the first fight every single time. Huge dynamites all the time too.
Well, we were thinking this is going to be a match, and boy, we're in for a real treat. This truly is the duel of the DPS. I mean, on the other side, you had Skyker and Mikey, who were no slouches either, and both of them were able to put up a good fight, but Tanic V on that Genji just was uncontested, and he was able to rip the Chinchillas apart. Let's see what map the Chinchillas go for, and we'll see how they're able to deal with us right after the break. Welcome back to the Dirty Bowl game. We had a banger of a match on Junkertown with the Raccoons taking an early lead 3-0. Again, Tanakby just putting on a dominant performance of Genji. So Chinchillas, being the losers, were able to pick their next map, and we're seeing them take us to Numbani. Teddy, what do you think they're thinking of with going to Numbani?
Um, it seems like they want to do dive because Purple Jesus is a pretty good monkey, and Danny Mac is pretty much from what I've seen just a JQ player. So we'll see if that actually benefits them. So as we see, Danny Mac probably not gonna go to the Malga, I would assume, but who knows? And Tanakby, pretty well known for his echo. His echo is really good. Um, yeah, we see Purple Jesus with Monkey. His Monkey's really good. And Mikey going Genji, probably trying to match what Tanakby did. And to be honest, I think that's a really good choice.
Danny Mac is staying on this Malga right now. This is going to be entertaining. We'll see if there's any changes that Purple Jesus makes when he sees this Malga on the other side. Ooh, Riddle Dog. Yeah, and Riddle Dog Riddle Dog was teasing us with Farah, and that new rework would have been great to watch, but looks like they're going to be sticking with Riddle Dog onto the Sojourn. An early dive on by Purple Jesus, but he immediately knocked down. Looks like they're just kind of getting a feel right now. Aurora is currently on the Lari and has a wonderful post up right for that turret. And Purple Jesus, it takes a lot of damage early on. He has to back out into Mega. And he immediately dives on, but he takes a lot of damage again. Riddle Dog's able to take down Wiggle Higgle, but Danny Mac is able to take down Purple Jesus. And that just has to be a reset for the Chinchillas without a tank. But they're still fighting this. Antidote by Sly, and they're able to immediately capitalize. OKS is taken down. It's just Daniel Mac and Tanakby, but Danny Mac immediately goes down. Riddle Dog is popping off. And they're storming on the point. Looks like that
Riddle Dog.
Riddle Dog with the pocket is able to take down Tanakby. He's doing the exact same thing Tanakby last time and really starting to dictate the tempo of this game. And he's getting close to that ultimate as well. And looks like it's going to be a first cap, an early cap for the Chinchillas.
Yeah, it looks like the Chinchillas have a pretty massive ult advantage right now. And Riddle Dog was a pretty good performance in the DPS currently. Is known for his support. We got PJ
Tanakby early. How did that happen? It looks like he got staggered out. So that's going to be a bad stagger and a really, really far spawn. So Chinchilla's able to take pretty free real estate right now. They're just kind of poking out, but big dive on Aurora. Aurora is taken down by Mikey. Mikey is really wanting to show up Tanakby, and he's doing a good job starting it off. But Purple Jesus gets purpled and lives up to that name, but immediately dies to Danny Mac as Danny Mac's storm is back. Still,
that was a good pick.
Chinchillas are able to
break the tempo.
Oh, absolutely. And Chinchillas are able to get just past that corner, but it looks like that's where the progress is going to end for now. Raccoons are able to take to the point. But Purple Jesus gets back quickly. We're going to be looking towards the Chinchillas, who have 4 ults to work with. Big nano onto Purple Jesus. Purple Jesus dives in, but not any big clear targets right now. Dives onto the supports. Big sleep by Sly, but immediately woken up. Still, Purple Jesus taken down by OKS. Mikey with the blade follows up against OKS, taking out on Danny Mac. Danny Mac is able to use the ult quickly and keeps Purple Jesus up there with her. Tanakby fires back on the Riddle Dog. And right now it's just Mikey and Danny Mac in a cage match right now. But Mikey's able to get out with his life. Charvatron's unfortunately not so lucky, and Roar is able to take him out of the sky. Tanakby is putting pressure right now on, and I think it's just best for Chinchillas to just pull back right now as they wait for their mercy.
PJ walking in.
Yeah, Purple Jesus is thinking otherwise. And he is able to take down Roar. Roar had that ult online, but Purple Jesus is able to take him out early. So now looking towards Purple Jesus to use his Primal Rage. Riddle Dog is able to follow up on Wiggle Higgle, and the Raccoons are currently out of their supports. So they have a hard time touching. But could this ult from OKS do anything? Purple Jesus immediately pops the Primal Rage, but he has to get out early. Oh, Roar uses his ult, but it's just too late. Chinchillas are able to use the first ult, but Roar does get Mikey. That Falcon pops like Charvatron. Riddle Dog is able to take down Roar. Purple Jesus takes out Tanakby. Right now, the Chinchillas are just dominating the tempo of this game right now.
Yeah, Riddle Dog's pretty much popping off. He gets another pick once again from Danny Mac. And it looks like 2 ults are going to come online for Chinchillas, while The Raccoons used quite a lot of ults even though they lost second point. So it's kind of interesting why they did that. But Nano
And
Blade
Roar
could be
on the
online.
break. What do you think about that?
Break is actually pretty good so far. It cannot die with a health increase as well. So that's not a bad pick, especially against
And
dive.
we see Tannic B going with the Nano Blade. But Riddle Dog takes out Wiggle Higgle. Tannic B takes down Fly. Okay, it follows up on Mikey. And Tannic B is able to cut Charvatron in half. Looks like the Raccoons are finally going to get a foothold on this payload. But boy, was it costly. Tannic B able to come up clutch, but they have very little left in the tank. OKS really needs to come up clutch with this next visor. But the Chinchillas have a lot of ults to play with.
Yeah, Chinchillas about to have their own nano visor, nano blade of their own, and against a visor from Oaks is probably not going to do much. So we'll see when they're gonna dive right now with the nano blade probably.
Purple Jesus taking a lot of poke damage in right now. Danny B is just able to hold this high ground right now. But Purple Jesus jumps on top of him with that nano. Danny Mac is able to get away in time, and Purple Jesus kind of just staring at people right now. Roar takes out Mikey. Big cage match though on top of Purple Jesus. Purple Jesus taking down Danny Mac, taking two people's heads off, and Roar able to fall beside, and that is another clean hold. Tannic B is now on the Hanzo. Interesting pick.
Hanzo has a few buffs from his Storm Arrow, so he's not as bad as I thought he would be. So it's quite an interesting pick. And the break is actually helping quite a lot from the dive from Purple Jesus. So break is a really good choice from Roar here. But we still got Blade from Mikey and Promo Rage from Purple Jesus. See what they can do with it.
Big ante from Purple Jesus though is going to prevent him from going in early. But Mike and Purple Jesus going quickly afterwards, and Purple Jesus clearly has that Primal Rage to work with, so he's playing without fear right now, which requires Danny Mac to fall off the point as he goes low in health. Tannic B is taking that off angle, trying to get someone. We see a big blade on it from Mikey, but Danny Mac is able to take down Purple Jesus. OKS though is able to take a Riddle Dog down while Mikey is able to take down Roar, but OKS taking down Triratron. And OKS is able to finish off the fight, and we get our first team kill of the match. And that is prompting some changes on the sides of the Chinchillas.
Yeah, quite a lot of changes actually. They got Sigma and they got a Hanzo of their own, and they got Bap here, which it looks like they're trying to do a poke heavy comp, which probably might work if Ritter Dog can get his pick from the Mercy Pocket. And we'll see.
We'll see. Purple Jesus missing that rock on Danny Mac though, but Danny Mac is required to jump up regardless. Tannic B with a nice ult though to split up the team, and Danny Mac is able to get up there, but it's taken down by Mikey early on, and Roar has to pull out even though he does have the rally. And so Raccoons are forced to pull back as they wait for their tank. And as they do so, Chinchillas surge forward, but a big ante from Purple Jesus, or from Wiggle Higgle that takes on Purple Jesus. Purple Jesus able to end up in turn. Trevortron's able to get the res onto Purple Jesus, but Tannic B takes down Mikey. Tannic B takes down another one. Is there anything this man cannot play? And Charvatron was forced to use the ballot, but to very little effect, unfortunately. So it looks like it's going to be another reset from the Chinchillas as Danny Mac pulls forward, and Tannic B is just, man's just doing Tannic B things at this point. I mean, he's just popping people's heads off left and right.
Yeah, he gets picks every single time, which is really good. He's about to get another ult, another dragon, because he used the first fight last time. We got Nano and we got a trap from the Mauga, and only overclock for the other side. So we'll see if Riddle Dog can pull it out.
We're about to see a lot of Qs pressed here.
Big ante.
Big ante though. This is final fight. Danny Mac is currently up on the high ground with his cage fight, and he jumps in. And we see a big ult from Riddle Dog, but okay, yes, cuts him off before he's able to do anything. Every Q that the teams have, Danny Mac takes down two. Danny Mac finishes off Purple Jesus, and that is where the card is going to stop at 65.21 meters. But still, overall, good push by the Chinchillas. While you're disappointed you weren't able to get it all the way, you are happy with the progress, and you know you can hold the Raccoons.
Yeah, Chinchillas really got stumped on that third point. It looks like they should have switched a lot more earlier. Maybe do a poke heavy comp a lot more earlier. Or honestly, Zen could have been quite a pick because Zen is pretty strong in this meta, I would say. For that heavy damage on that Mauga, because Mauga couldn't die at all. But also Tannic B always just getting picks every single time, which is insane. I don't know what he would be playing. He could stick to Hanzo. or he could go with the Echo. His Echo is pretty good as well, like I said. So we will see.
Well, let's see what the Chinchillas are able to put up on defense. And Danny Mac is again teasing that Malga. He did find a lot of success with that. So we could see Danny Mac go on top of it. Tannic B on that Hanzo again. Incredibly effective. But currently we're seeing the Chinchillas go to a dive comp of sorts. The real question is, with the comp that the Raccoons are currently facing, who does Purple Jesus really have to dive on top of?
You have to go for the supports, I would say, especially the Ana. Ana's very vulnerable, but he could get melted by that Hanzo, so, and that Suzu from Roar if they actually keep the Kiriko here. So it's going to be really tough for Purple Jesus if he doesn't have any follow-up from Mikey.
Well, we see the Raccoons pop off early here with this comp. OKS is now on Tracer. Interesting choice, but let's see what they can do with it. You know, Tracer did get a little bit of a health buff. We're currently seeing this kind of wrapping around, just kind of poking. Tannic B is kind of feeling it out. Purple Jesus takes the high ground early. And it looks like Danny Mac is going to clash with them early, but Danny Mac is taken to the low ground early on, and he's getting currently targeted and harassed, so he has to back up. But Tannic B takes an early pick onto Riddle Dog. Again, no surprise that it's Tannic B that gets the first pick. Turbotron is able to get the res onto Riddle Dog, but a big ante does prevent them from moving back a little bit. But it doesn't matter. Chinchillas are able to take down the rest of the Raccoons, and Roar is able to take Mikey on the way out, but that is going to be a reset. I don't think the Chinchillas realized that that Wiggle was all by himself. Wiggle's able to escape with his life.
Yeah, Wiggle surviving as usual, as he always does, always hiding in the corners. But Tannic B trying to get a pick once again.
Looks like OKS and Roar putting a little pressure on the point early, while currently Danny Mac is going on top of the high ground, but Roar is taken down. Danny Mac does trade out Sly, but Wiggle Higgle goes down, and now the Raccoons have no supports to play with currently, but Purple G is incredibly low. Mikey takes down Tannic B, and giving him a taste of his own medicine. Mikey and Tannic B have really been going back and forth on Riddle Dog and OKS, also putting in a lot of work. Mikey takes a dupe on that Malga. Danny Mac just has to back out, too low of health, and he has to wait for his support, so you really wonder if that was the best Echo target, but Mikey's able to at least bleed time off of the clock.
Yeah, interesting ult there. I don't know if you actually needed that, but doesn't really matter. He made space. But we got a few ults on from the Chinchillas. Got almost has Valk and almost has a Primal Rage, and we have Oaks with the pulse bomb. See if he can get anybody with that. Probably preferably the Honor Mercy.
Right, and he gets punished for it early by Purple Jesus. That may have been a bit of a miscommunication there, but he was the lone sniper all on his own and just unable to really get any results. So now we have to see what the Chinchillas are capable of. The Chinchillas are really just pulling this team apart. Raccoons kind of look a little befuddled on how to deal with this. Okay, he's able to take down Mikey, but it really doesn't matter at the end of the day, as Charbotron is able to res Mikey. So Chinchillas are really, really pulling up a great defense right now.
Yeah, it seems like the Raccoons are just not well coordinated, and they're very split, and they're just letting their supports die. So it's Wigglehoo not able to try to find space to heal his teammates. But we got supports online, and Tannic B with Dragons. A lot of ults from Chinchillas though, so let's see if Raccoons can make something happen.
Currently is this quarter, and the recall is forced out early by OKS, and Mikey gets a big nano, but is slipped. Purple Jesus takes down Roar early on, and Roar had already used that ult, and Purple Jesus pops off with his Primal Rage, and Danny Mac does in fact pop his ult as well. Tannic B finally finding Mikey, warming up a little bit in this second half. Riddle Dog, though, is putting a lot of pressure on Danny Mac. Danny Mac is currently antied, and Danny Mac just has to back out. They don't have the numbers. Tannic B pops an early ult, but Riddle Dog takes off OKS. Danny Mac finds Purple Jesus, and Tannic B finally lighting up, takes out Sly. Riddle Dog fires off his ult and takes down Tannic B. So a potential chance here for a recontest by the Chinchillas. Danny Mac is able to get another duplication on Danny Mac, and this time has much bigger effect and is able to take down his duplicated counterpart. Riddle Dog takes out the head of Higgle, and Mikey able to take down Roar. Riddle Dog has just been getting the best of the Raccoons right now. He really popped off early.
He really did. It looks like it was fast last fight territory, and someone in the Raccoons has a touch, and it looks like Oaks is touching, and he dies.
And Mikey just takes OKS, his head's off, and that would be it. Chinchillas storm back in map 2 with a dominant performance on New Bonnie, and now we see why they decided to go against New Bonnie. May have found an answer to that Tannic problem that they had in the first map, and just a dominant performance with Riddle Dog and Skyker really just pulling off a great game.
For sure. To be honest, it doesn't seem Danny Mac plays any dive characters, so I guess that's probably one of the problems.
All tied up here, and we're gonna see what map we go to next, as it's the Raccoon's choice, and we'll see you after the break.
These beats are the purest. Prove it, prove it.
Welcome back, and currently we come back to this bowl game with the Chinchillas and Raccoons tied up. Raccoons losing that last match and taking us to Nepal. What are your thoughts on them taking us to Nepal, Teddy?
Nepal is very interesting for the fact that I would say it's most likely because of the Junker Queen, because Danny Mac only plays Junker Queen, so it's probably gonna be that. Well, he's playing Monkey though, so I don't know. But I think it's because I actually have no idea. But let's see if they can actually pull it out with the win. If they think this is their best map here.
We'll see. I mean, they're currently kind of teasing us this dive? I don't know what to call that. But on the other side, Chinchillas are going for an Orisa comp, so we could see the horse. Oh, and Tannic B is going on that Genji. Looks like we're going to see a duel of the Genjis here.
That could be scary. Tiny B was really insane with the Genji, because well, Mikey versus Tiny B. Let's see who comes up on the edge.
So it looks like we have a dive comp, and Purple Jesus takes an early anti, but they're able to get a little bit of damage back on, and both teams are currently just kind of poking each other out. Purple Jesus gets slept early on, but Danny Mac does have to back up a little bit. Early lamp comes out though from Riddle Dog. Tannic B takes that early, and no one is really taking the point, but OKS takes down Skyker early on, and Charbatron and Mikey are just capping the point, and we're going to see a first cap from the Chinchillas.
Yeah, really bad staggers too coming out right now.
Yeah, I was thinking it was the Raccoons.
No,
But
it's
big
the
staggers,
Raccoons.
and Tannic B is just pulling them to pieces right now. Wow,
Yep.
that
Oops,
is...
already getting a pulse bomb, pretty close to pulse bomb already. Purple Jesus 72%, and yeah, honestly, we didn't see Simply Dino coming in as well. I did not see that. We'll see if she can do something with the Kiriko here.
Absolutely. Early poke. And really, it all comes down to these dives by Danny Mac and him being able to initiate early. Tannic B is taking this off angle, just kind of poking them out right now. Not really doing too much, but he's already closing in on that blade. So all eyes are going to be on Tannic B. OKS also has that pulse bomb, so we'll see what they're able to do with that. But Chinchillas storm onto the point, and Blade comes out Tannic B, and already Riddle Dog is turned into mid speed.
Oh my
OKS
God.
bomb on the two, and they're pulverized into cloud. Mikey does take that wiggle higgle, but it does not matter. Tannic B just hits him with that taser, and Danny Mac takes out Purple Jesus. And Danny Mac decides that now is time for a good tactical reset, as we always love to see.
For sure, for sure. Tactical resets. Well, it looks like Chinchillas can actually run this down because Danny Mac made a mistake
Yeah,
here.
everyone has to wonder what that decision was, but doesn't matter. OKS just finds Riddle Dog early on. And OKS has been a menace on this all, and he's taking down Skyker as well, and the dive that is coming in for the Raccoons has just been clinical. Tannic B again just showing Genji dominance. He's already halfway to his next blade, while Mikey is just coming up on his first one, and Mikey's taken down by Danny Mac.
Stagger. Wow. That was two support ults from the Raccoons, so that was really good for Chinchillas, but they got to walk into touch points with the 4 ults they have.
And we see the final fight territory ticking up here real quickly. Is someone able to stick? But Skyker takes out OKS, and OKS takes himself out. He says, you know what, if you can't kill me, only I can kill me. And Wiggle Higgle goes down to Purple Jesus. Mikey has the blade, takes on Wiggle Higgle, but it doesn't matter. A dominant first round by the Chinchillas, just going back to that Tannic B Genji, and that Tannic B Genji has just been nutty.
Yeah, Oaks and Tannic B are just a really good duo right now, just cleaning up the fight every single time. Wow. Looks like Tannic B is definitely winning the duel with Mikey here. But surprisingly, Chinchillas had 3 ults and didn't use any of them, so very unfortunate for that. But we see Tannic B with the Pharah and Mikey with the Pharah, so it looks like they're trying to do it once again. Let's see. Oh, no, never mind. Tannic B going back Genji.
So this will be our first peek of the new Pharah. Teddy, what are your thoughts on the new Pharah's ability? While he no longer is able to gain any boost while in the air, has that horizontal dash.
She's still not good because just oh, never mind. He
Mikey
gets a
would
pick.
prove you otherwise. Caster Curse is real. Doesn't matter what league you are in. And Purple Jesus quickly able to follow up on Simply Dino, and Skyker takes down Wiggle Higgle, and that is a quick first fight by the Chinchillas. They are coming back with a vengeance and a nice stagger on a Tanic B. Let's see how they answer Mikey up in the Pharah, and Mike is able to get some early picks here pretty quickly.
Yeah, Mikey actually might make this work unless Tanic B goes to the Echo. So let's see if he can kill the Pharah from that duel. And then it looks like the two Winstons are dueling up top there.
They're just kind of tickling each other right now with their beams. Mikey's just kind of floating around, currently poking out Danny Mac. Danny Mac is going low. He has to back out early before getting caught out by this side. Tanic B is taken out by Mikey. Mikey follows up on Danny Mac, and he is just showing us what this new Pharah is capable of. It doesn't matter how long you're in the air, those rockets are going to hurt no matter how well they hit you. And
yeah, Mikey just cleaning up once again
Mikey
with the Pharah.
heard you in chat and just decided that he wanted to prove you wrong. But
Really did, yeah.
A little too aggressive, is taken down by Wiggle Higgle, but still they're continuing to gain good point pressure. Danny's able to put on that point pressure, starting to initiate the flip, but they're able to dive out. Looks like they're trying to go for the supports, but not really any good targets right now. The mobility from the Chinchilla is just so good, and Riddle Dog is able to use that rush, and they're able to re-engage really quickly before that point play comes through. But it looks like they are going to get off the point and give away that point. But Triple G is able to take an early point on a Simply Dino. Both bombs come out, not to any great effect by the Tracers. Okay, Oaks is able to get the better of Skyker, but Purple Jesus takes down two. Purple Jesus is really starting to put on a clinic with this Winston, and a bit of an odd duplication by Tanic.
Yeah.
Oh, and Oaks gets staggered too. Ouch.
Yeah, Tanic B uses ult there, but everybody was in the team was kind of dead already, so very unfortunate. But Wiggle Higgle gets his ult, so hopefully he ults Danny Mac and try to make some space and hopefully win the fight. Mikey with his barrage as well, so let's see if we can actually get a big barrage here too.
Multiple ults are online. Trevortron is going to be having that beat in time. And Wiggle Higgle is taken down early by Mikey. That Nano is out of the fight. They have to win that without their Ana, and Ana has a later spawn. Mikey's able to take down the tank, and Tanic B takes down Mikey in return. But a big beat from Trevortron keeps them all nice and healthy. And it just looks like that's going to be the point. Chinchilla puts the icing on this point, and we are going to a map 3. And Chinchilla show the best way to deal with a ninja is with a lady with rockets and wings.
Yep, it seems like that. Didn't think Far would do much. Maybe hit scan needed to be played there for the Raccoons, but Mikey proved me wrong otherwise. But two dominant performances from both rounds. So let's see if this is a close round 3 instead of a dominant one. You see Mikey still sticking with the Pharah, which I mean he played well with the Pharah, so might as well stick it. And Tanic and no changes regardless. So Skyster is gonna just TP from spawn and try to get a bigger or faster fight.
We'll see. Mikey is again showing us that Pharah and just showing the dominance and the damage that this Pharah is capable of. Let's see how the Raccoons decide to respond to this. Right now, both Winston just kind of tickle them early. A couple members of the Raccoons go down early. Purple Jesus taking a little bit of damage there, but they dive on the Wiggle Higgle. Wiggle Higgle is taken down by Skyker, and Skyker's able to find his ladder on Oaks, and immediately the Raccoons are just gutted. Danny Mac does find Trevortron early, but he's gonna get staggered, and an early flip by the Chinchillas. And again, Mikey is just going uncontested on this Pharah and just pulling the Raccoons apart.
Yeah, PJ just going behind the back line. The Wiggle Higgle dying first because it doesn't really get that much peel from the team. And honestly, I think they just need Mercy. They got Tanic B on the Mercy. See if Tanic B can find value there.
Well, currently right now, they're just playing a little game of Ring Around the Rosie. Purple Jesus goes incredibly low. He has to back out early. But Mikey finds Simply down. Looks like that Mercy didn't really matter. Mikey going a little low. He has to back out. But Purple Jesus finds again on Danny Mac. Purple Jesus has been finding the better of Danny Mac time and time again on this Winston here. And just putting on a show on what dive looks like. Big bomb though onto Purple Jesus, but it doesn't matter. Skyker is just able to take down Oaks and Wiggle Higgle. And the Chinchillas continuing to put on a show on this dive mirror. I mean, a little bit different styles, but same idea. Now Danny Mac is teasing that queen.
Yeah, back on the queen, his signature hero, and see if it can actually change something up here.
61% ult on both sides. Mikey again takes on Simply Dino. That bomb by Skyker doesn't find much. For Purple Jeans does find Dynamac. Riddle Bug does find Oaks. Tannic Feet does fire back on Mikey, but again, the Raccoons are already pulled apart. It is too late. Every time Tannic Feet does find a kill, it's just a little too late.
PJ trying to get the echo, but it doesn't look like that worked.
I guess
But-
Purple Jesus just really wanted to do the same thing Danny Mac did. It's cool if your Winston jumps down to the bottom of the map. It's a tactical reset, but it's got Oaks again taken down by Skyker. Skyker is really starting to heat up in this map. Tannic Feet decides to go on the Lucio. Not a bad pick. He's able to get up feet in time, but it doesn't matter. Mikey takes down Tannic Feet. Danny Mac. Just that is it.
Yeah,
Raccoons
very
were-
dominant from the Chinchillas. Oh my god.
The Raccoon just looked clueless in the face of a dominant Mikey Fair performance, and we are on match point for the Chinchillas, one map away from getting the win this season and
First
ending the
win.
game on a high note. We'll see where the Raccoons decide to take us to try to bring us to a map 5 after the break. Welcome back to the Dirty Fountain Bowl. We are going on a match point for the Chinchillas, still looking for their first win of the season. And Raccoons decided to take us to Junkertown. Now, this is the first time we get to see Junkertown with the new updates. What are your thoughts on them taking us to Junkertown here, Teddy? And what do you think we're going to see from the Raccoons to try to deal with this wonderful dive coming from the Chinchillas?
It is very interesting because I am not sure if anybody's actually played the new Junkertown patch, so we'll see. This is probably going to be just a sniper duel, just like how Junkertown is, but we do have PJ as a ball, so that's going to be very annoying for snipers. So Tonic B is the only sniper in the Raccoons, so we'll see if Tonic B can actually sustain from that ball. A Sly and finally on that Zenyatta. I've been looking for a Zenyatta, and Chinchillas actually found that. Mikey's still sticking with that Pharah, but Oaks has that soldier, so we don't know if Mikey is able to sustain from that, but we'll see.
Oh, we see Purple Jesus teasing us with that ball. Mikey currently seeing that Oaks is on that soldier. We'll see if that requires him to switch it all. Mike Rittledog just getting a couple of just pokes early on, and just kind of looking at right now where the pressure is going to be coming from. Danny Mac is just kind of on point early. Rittledog again going for these jump shots, but we'll see how effective the Widowmaker is. And right now it just kind of looks like a game of chicken to see who's going to make the mistake first. Danny Mac on his signature queen, but Rittledog is able to take his head off, and Mikey immediately follows up on Oaks. And that is the exact opening that the Chinchillas were looking. So now we're going to see an early lead for the Chinchillas. Tanic B is able to take down Rittledog.
Still back there, and he finally dies.
Stagger from Mikey.
Big stagger. Yeah,
really
big stagger.
That should get them mostly to the way near that tower, and if they can, all eyes are on Mikey to utilize those new sight lines.
Well, Dynamax should be able to touch still. Oaks is still there as well, so this touch is still available. But Chinchillas are not touching the payload.
Purple Jesus is being an annoyance in the back line. As most ball players know, you don't really get any kills. You just kind of annoy people and just pull attention. Mikey's able to take down Simple Dino, but Tanic B does fire one in the back of Rittledog's head. Mikey immediately pays for that and fires Tanic B off of the rocket. And Danny Mac takes out Sly. We're seeing a very scabby right now.
Oh my God, Mikey.
Mikey is just popping off on this Vera, and finally is taken down by Danny Mac. But one wonders if the damage is already done. The fight is very split right now. Wiggle is currently split off right now. And Rittledog does go on the Sombra. Still point pressure, but it looks like the Chinchillas are going to have to back out for a little bit. Rittledog not followed by Wiggle, which is really surprising. Just kind of keeping an eye on that back line right now. We'll see how he wants to play this. Shermatron is already online with that tree, and Mikey with that barrage.
Yep, and Ball with his bombs as well. And Tanic B goes down early.
Rittledog following up with that Sombra pick early on. Good pick, Rittledog very early though. Has to back out. Sly has that. Oh, Mikey is doing exactly what Tanic did in the early matches, where he's just dictating the tempo of this game with early picks, and that should be first point for the Chinchillas.
Actually crazy to think that Mikey and Purple Jesus are actually kind of doing like a dive, which is very interesting, but it's actually working. But we got Oaks with the visor trying to shut down Pharah most likely, and Tiny P with Dragon, and Dynamac with his ult. Pretty much all ults from the Raccoons.
We might see a 5Q fight here. We will see.
Yep.
We'll see who decides to engage first. Early hack, though, on detaining B, so they do know that there has to be that ult. Purple T's able to find on Simligana with those minefield and immediately follows one in the back of Oak's head with a nice fist, and the hamster really showing it how it go down, and he finds 3.
Year the ball, baby. Let's go.
Ball finally showing a little bit of pressure here. Danny Mac has to back out, but it looks like he's going to stagger. And Mikey decides to fire a celebratory barrage off to show his dominance on his current performance. 3 ults still online, but we see a full 5 coming out from the Raccoons. And an immediate ult comes out from Tanic B, who does find Mikey of all people.
What?
And Danny Mac whiffs on his charge, but it does pull out enough pressure for them to have to back out. Riddle Dog is just currently in the back, just kind of harassing them and trying to get them out of position, forcing the Chinchillas will have to regroup. But multiple ults still online. 2 ults used though. TeddyEm does find Riddle Dog. Was he invisible with that?
No idea. But is knowing TeddyEm? Maybe.
Purple Jesus. Popping on top of him, just putting a little bit of pressure down TeddyEm. But TeddyEm was not in any real danger right now. Chinchillas regrouping. Purple Jesus putting on a little bit of pressure onto the cart. But he is currently under pressure himself, and he's incredibly low. He has to back out, and he barely escapes with his life. Their side Chinchillas are currently dealing with that, and that ult does get forced out of slide. So you decide you may as well engage now. Good EMP though from Riddle Dog. 2 currently hacked, but the beat from Wiggle Higgle is good and keeps everyone alive. Multiple ults used. Slide is taken down by TeddyEm. TeddyEm finally beginning to light up in this match. We see the Danny Mac is currently very low, but we'll see TeddyEm just takes out Riddle Dog again, and TeddyEm finally finding his footing in this second map. Let's see how well they're able to hold this. Mikey is getting currently on the barrage. Riddle Dog does switch onto that Sojourn, but they're gonna have to face down 4 ults coming up from the Raccoons.
Yeah, very troublesome there, but they do have tree and mines, and TeddyEm trying to get the fire once again, but that didn't happen this time. But Oaks does have that ult, so he could take down Mikey very easily.
Another minefield from Purple Jeans. Let's see who he's able to get with it. Mikey does get Oaks with that visor still in line, so Oaks is out of the fight. That is the engage button for the Chinchillas to go. Purple Jeans is going low, incredibly low, taken down by TeddyEm. Tree comes in just a hair too late by Trevortron. Simply Down does have that rush online. He does in fact use it, but Mikey's able to take him down. All eyes now on Wiggle Higgle to keep everyone alive. Danny Mac does have that ult, and he's this time able to connect with Sly, but Sly immediately fires off that Sozu. And Oaks does fire a rocket and a Mikey. TeddyEm finding Riddle Dog, and that should be the fight in favor of the Raccoons once again.
This looks like last fight territory, and Purple Jesus has to survive, and he's probably gonna have to touch as well. Oaks still has ults, still haven't used that, but that's gonna be really big for this next fight.
And Purple Jesus switches to the Queen last second.
Interesting.
So we will see where their decision is. Mikey now goes on to the Tracer. He will most likely have to be the one who touches, and he in fact does. They got to make sure that they don't C9 the point. Oaks fires off that visor early on. Purple Jesus is able to touch. Not too much pressure coming in by this visor. Visor is mostly just to keep pressure on. Riddle Dog's able to find TeddyEm. TeddyEm goes down, and he's getting close to that ult. So that means that the Chinchillas have their opening right now, and Simply Down goes down. Wiggle Higgle does have the beat. So we'll be eyes on Wiggle Higgle to use the beat, and he's able to connect with all 3. But they are all going down early on. Side coming up with that ult, and it looks like they're about to pop it. But Danny Mac is able to find Riddle Dog. Purple Jesus is able to take the head off of Wiggle Higgle. And Purple Jesus is able to take down Danny Mac, and Mikey's able to find Oaks. And the Chinchillas, with the last minute touch, are able to cap point 2.
Seems like the ball and Fafar didn't really get that much value as they did now, so the Queen and the Trace was a really good switch from the Chinchillas. Not that actually cap point.
Mikey in that one round was able to get to his ult. Oaks is able to find Riddle Dog very early though. But regardless, you have to be happy with the Chinchillas. They're able to get past that point, and they're able to get past that door early on. So we'll see how he decides to point. Purple Jesus is putting a little bit of pressure right now, but he goes incredibly low. Let's see how he decides to go. Danny Mac with a nice ult and a big rampage able to connect on the Purple Jesus and Trevortron. Are they able to deal with it? Purple Jesus does go down. Looks like he was isolated from the rest of the team, and TeddyEm is able to put an arrow through Sly's head, and that will be the fight. TeddyEm also finding Mikey just for a nice little finisher, and that'll be the fight going in favor of the Raccoons.
Honestly, as Chinchillas, I think you take this because you are 5 ults versus none from the Raccoons, so this is going to be really big if they rotate their ults very nicely, and they could actually cap this whole Junkertown if they can.
Well, all eyes are going to be on to Riddle Dog. He's been so clutch on this Sojourn all game, so we'll have to see what he's capable of. Big axe swings on both. Danny Mac's better, but Sly does use that rush, and that is the go button for them to engage with. Purple G is currently holding on to that ult. And Riddle Dog puts one through Wiggle Higgle's head and gives a nice Sojourn-sized hole. TeddyEm, though, answers back with Charm John. Danny Mac does find Riddle Dog, and suddenly disaster strikes, and the fight goes in favor of Raccoons. Mikey whiffs on that bomb. Purple Jesus is able to find Danny Mac on that rampage and able to take down Danny Mac. And fight's looking pretty even right now. Oaks is able to find Slide though. And Danny Mac, Purple Jesus just has to push the point as far as he possibly can. Mikey's able to stall, but it looks like that is where the card is going to be laid to rest as Tanic B puts an arrow into Mikey. But if you're the Chinchillas, this is winnable for you. You had a dominant first point performance where Mikey just went uncontested. You had a little bit of slip up, but you're able to get that second point. So all eyes are going to be on their defense.
Yep, it was unfortunate that Charbotron died very early by Tanic B. He had Tree and did not use it, so that was very unfortunate. But we'll see if the Chinchillas can pull a great defense to win this whole bowl and get their first win of the season. And we'll see what they're gonna run this time. See if Mikey goes back to the far row ball, or they're gonna stick with the Junker Queen or Tracer.
Well, we're gonna get our first peek here in just a second. And it looks like the Raccoons are gonna be keeping what they did last time. I mean, if it isn't broke, then why fix it? We're still looking at the Chinchillas and Purple Jesus going on the Diva. Interesting choice, but my guess is that you want that in response to Tanic B's Hanzo performance as he really started to light up in the second half. And
especially the angles that Oaks get as well. So I think that Purple Jesus is gonna try to contest Oaks a lot, so he doesn't have free reign to just shoot wherever he wants, and as well as Tanic B.
For all the pride, for all the glory, for all the marbles in the bag, the Raccoons go for one final fight to bring us to a map 5. Early out, not much pressure coming in. Looks like the Chinchillas are wanting to pull back just a little bit. I want to hold that archway, so Raccoons are just taking free real estate while they can and just poking around while they're able to. Danny Mac putting a little bit of pressure on, and Tanic B firing a couple arrows, but no one has really made any big strides yet as we round towards the archway. Oaks is taking that flank angle, like you said. And Purple Jesus and Mikey are looking like they're going to be diving on top of him, and Oaks is caught out. That flank did not pay off this time, and suddenly the Raccoons are out with one of their big damage dealers. Danny Mac goes incredibly low as well, so he has to be healed up. Oaks goes on to the May. My guess in response is seeing Purple Jesus and Mikey. So the Raccoons do have to back up for just a moment.
Yeah, indeed. That Oaks going to May is very troublesome for a Diva and a Tracer. But we'll see if the Chinchillas can turn it around.
And Danny Mac finds one on Mikey, but we see how effective Danny Mac is on this queen and why it is a signature hero. But beyond that, not too many points. Purple Jesus is going incredibly low. He's close to that ult, and he gets G-Mech'd though. So we will see Purple Jesus most likely get taken out, and Oaks does indeed take him out. Good sleep on Danny Mac, and let's see if Cybertron and Sly are able to get out with their lives. Most likely not, though. Danny Mac is right on top of him. And Sly is dancing around, but unfortunately is taken out, and Riddle Dog is taken out by Oaks, and that'll be point 1. Looks like both of these teams had no trouble getting past point 1, but now you get onto a much more difficult part of the map.
Yeah, Oaks made a really good decision switching because May has 300 HP, which is ridiculous. So he's basically a tank. So, and it really counters the Diva and the Tracer. So, and with 3 ults, almost 4 ults online for the
and Tanic B
with this.
Fires one into Riddle Dog, and that's an early pick. Purple Jesus going incredibly low, and they have to back out. And Tanic B fires that ult, but he does find one in Oaks. Suddenly, and just as I say it, Tanic B does find another on Charbotron. Tanic B just takes an early fight. Looks like Purple Jesus did have to use that ult early just to remech. Perfectly acceptable. He dives on top of Tanic B. Tanic B is going low, and Mikey's able to find it just as the Sozu comes out, unfortunately, from Simply Dino. So it looks like we're going to have to back up. Danny Mac does have that ult. Purple Jesus diving in early, and Oaks gets right on top of him, and he gets immediately demech. And then the Blizzard comes out, adding insult to injury, as the Ice Demon herself freezes up Purple Jesus. Riddle Dog does fire off that ult, but nice wall from Oaks, and Tanic B again just firing one off into Mikey. But Riddle Dog does end up finding Danny Mac, so suddenly the fight does even up a little bit. And with the closest spawn of the Chinchillas, you do have to respect that. So one wonders if the Raccoons are going to recontest, and Tanic B does get on top of that. So you wonder, are the Chinchillas gonna be able to touch in time, or are the Raccoons gonna be able to get a sneaky cap in? And it looks like Purple G's able to get back in time, so the Raccoons missed their opportunity. They're just gonna have to back out and wait for their tank to re-engage. Full bolts on both sides.
Oh,
Big ult on the Purple Jesus, but the beat immediately comes out from Wiggle Higgle to make sure everyone's alive. But Purple Jesus does find Tannic B. That beat was not fast enough, and Tannic B is taken down early. That should signal enough for the Raccoons. Raccoons still have a little under 3 minutes, so they can play with a little bit of time. So they just need to back out a little bit. But Wiggle Higgle is taken down by Riddle Dog, and Oaks takes down Mikey. These games have been scrappy, Teddy.
very scrappy. There was never a finish fight, and they're still fighting, and ults being used left and right, but still nothing really happening for either team.
Danny Mac currently trying to put pressure onto Purple Jesus. Purple Jesus does have that ult. Oaks is taken very low, but we see multiple ults on both sides. All eyes are going to be on Mikey to get a good pick. Mikey's able to get down Tannic B early, and he immediately goes down again with that ult. Danny Mac does have the ult. Purple Jesus does have that ult, and Charvatron does fire off his rush early. So that should mean a tempo swing in favor of the Chinchillas. Raccoons are still fighting it, but Danny Mac is going incredibly low, and Danny Mac is taken down by Purple Jesus, and that will signal the end, and Chinchillas able to again defend this. And you now begin to feel a little nervous to the Raccoons. You go under 2 minutes, you haven't used any ults, and really the Chinchillas have only had to use one ult to really dominate the tempo of this fight. Additionally, not much ways to pressure Purple Jesus off this high ground. How do you think the Raccoons should deal with this Chinchilla defense?
It seems like they just have to just go to the back line and try to go after the two support sides healing Purple Jesus, because the two supports are free to heal. And
currently, Oaks is just putting a little bit of poke pressure onto the point, but Mikey takes on Tannic B again. He is getting the better of Tannic B multiple times now, and that does signal for the Chinchillas to pull back on the defense and play on the point. We do see the rush come out from Simply Down. Let's see if they're able to do it. Nice blizzard from Oaks. Mikey does take down Simply Down. Bomb is used. Mikey's able to find the bomb. Sly is able to take down Danny Mac, and Riddle Dog is able to wiggle with holes. And again, that is the fight. And suddenly, we are down to less than a minute, and very few ults on either side. And Danny Mac does have his ult. Charvatron does have the Sozu, so it really will come down to clutch fix and Tannic B back on his signature Genji.
And Sly with the nano, probably gonna nano the Purple Jesus because he's been really good just killing anything he sees. And 30 seconds left to get a touch, and hopefully they can bring it back to map 5.
This is desperation mode now for the Raccoons. Oaks switches on to the legs, and we see Wiggle Higgle getting close on the ult. Let's see if he's able to build that ult in time into overtime. Both teams looking like they're going overtime at point 2. And John Sly is purple, but Charvatron with the clutch. So Purple Jesus is able to take down Simply Down. This is disaster for the Raccoons. And
oh my god!
All over the Raccoons.
Time to be only love, and it's over.
The Chinchillas
finally win the game.
To knock on the door and win the game for glory and for honor in a 3-map victory or 4-map victory over the Raccoons.
Really good first push from the Raccoon, but they couldn't find an answer in the second point at all, and very devastating for the Raccoons, as they had a really good season but couldn't get the win in the bowl game.
And it really goes to show the talent that is on this Chinchilla team, and one wonders if the season had gone on longer, what the Chinchillas would be able to pull off, because just the performances by Mikey and Purple Jesus today, that Winston mirror was just brilliant. And Mikey just pulling out the Pharah, the Tracer, and really being able to put the lock onto Tannic B. Really incredible performance, and it'll be exciting to go into next season and see where these players end up. I think we have to go with I think we gotta go with either Mikey or Purple Jesus. We're seeing in chat the Riddle Dog. So, what do you think, Teddy?
Riddle Dog did pull up a good performance as DPS, especially as a support player. He did really stand out as well. But Mikey with that Pharah did pretty well, because I didn't expect that at all. And Purple Jesus with the monkey did very well, especially as well as the Diva. Really good stand-up performance from every member of the Chinchillas, but it's gonna be a tough decision. We could give
I think we got to give it to Riddle Dog here. Riddle Dog just
yeah.
really stepped up the challenge on that Sojourn performance and just had a brilliant game. So I think our match MVP does have to go to Riddle Dog.
I agree.
I think we're going to take a
Very-
brief break as we try to set up the interview with Riddle Dog. So we will be right back.
Oh,
Oh, he dragged himself in. So we
here.
are
I
here.
did.
Riddle Dog,
The Phroodles player
the
of the
Phroodles
game.
player of the game. Riddle
Yes,
Dog,
sir.
congratulations on that victory.
Thank
what was
you.
going through your head to prepare yourself for, hopefully getting a win before the season ended?
I mean, I know that we were always able to do it. Like since the beginning, it was just a lot of different circumstances. We were able to get PJ in for Booney as well mid-season, but it was too little, too late, sadly. But I mean, it's some rough losses, like the last two ones, the 3-0s against the Zeniths and the Dongers. But I worked with this Sully guy. I was working with him today, and I was like, yeah, we can beat these guys. I'm confident. I know most people aren't because we're winless right now, but I'm confident in my team.
Well, I think you certainly silenced the critics with a brilliant performance on Sojourn, and really the whole team popped off.
Thank you.
Okay, I got a question. Do you
Mhm.
think putting yourself on DPS earlier in the season or just like in the middle of the season would have changed results? Like if making playoffs possibly? Do you think that could happen?
I mean, it may have. So here's a funny story. So I am doggy doo doo at DPS. I'm very inconsistent, very, very, very inconsistent. And then I played in the match for Gangster Turds versus the Imposters, last game of the season with you, Mr. Law.
Yeah.
And I was at an in-person like LAN sort of thing, like set up a PC cafe, left click lounge, and I accidentally had my DPI at half of what it normally is, at 800 instead of 1600. So, and then I hard popped off that game. I'm like, maybe that's the strat. Maybe I lower my sense, and that's what I did. So I'm feeling a little bit more consistent, but also, today's buff and actually being able to hit shots, that really helps. So
That
I
is
mean,
very true.
I don't think putting myself on DPS would really change a lot of the stuff because I think it's more recent.
Well,
Patch
going
notes.
into
most
next
part.
season, obviously we will most likely pick new teams. Are you thinking of staying on support, or are you thinking of giving DPS a try after a dominant performance today?
I'm always happy to flex around and do whatever, but I was thinking that I might look to off roll next season. I think what I'm gonna do on the sign up, I'm just gonna say, I'll play whatever, literally whatever you have me on. I don't care. So just like completely flex, like how I think it was for Zeus this season, where he's like, I'm fine with playing whatever, and I had him like on DPS and support, So.
Right. Okay. I guess you got any more questions? Oh, okay. I forgot one more question. What is your favorite pizza and why is it pineapple pizza?
So it's like Vin's answer to the question if you saw it last night. I haven't had it before, so I can't say that I like it, but I can't say I dislike it at the same time, So
Italians everywhere are
I'm
screaming right now.
What do you mean
I'm
by that,
open to
Riddle Dog?
trying it.
What do you mean by
open
you
to
haven't
trying
had
it.
it?
I haven't had it, and I'm open to trying it.
Damn.
The souls of Italians everywhere are dying as they hear you say that.
I unmuted my prod self to say that. I became a yapper just to say that, just to call you out. But also, we do have to ask you if you could pick
If
an
you weren't-
MVP.
Yep. Who would the MVP of the match be tonight if it wasn't you? Who do you think deserves that MVP slot?
This is a hard one. I feel like everyone on my team popped off. Chris able to come in on the support, especially on pop off on whatever he's doing. Charbotron on the main support, doing God's work. The Life Weaver pulled out the Weaver, baby.
True.
Skycer on DPS, always doing really good. Super good at calming, like super good at it. Like our main calmer too when he's in. Mikey playing Pharah, you know, they didn't know what to do with the Pharah on Nepal. And Onmal able to do a lot on the tanks, but I think I just have to give it to Onmal because of how flexible he is. I mean, he saw this team grow. He was able to bring us back from the brink of despair, and then give us. He was our light. He was our new light, the spark that we needed to keep going at least. Because I know a lot of people was boomed before our team. That's why Booney was traded off. Was so he was able to win somewhere else. But Onmal is what we really needed, and he helped push us to being able to eventually win a game and play super well on the tank role here.
Well, I think that is all our questions for tonight. Again, congratulations, Riddle, on a wonderful performance and a high note to end the season on. We look forward to seeing whatever you decide to play next season. And thank you for everyone watching here tonight. We appreciate it, and we will be back here, I believe. What is the next match? Do any of you guys know? I think it's Friday.
Friday.
It is on the
Oh, it's
stream.
on
So
the
it
screen.
is,
Oh,
it is
perfect,
going.
yeah.
It is going to be Friday the 16th at 7 p.m. CST. That
So
is going to be the. Let me just check this
I
real
believe
quick, 'cause
it's
names
the-
were not- It's the Axolotls Muskie Bowl between the Zelazinas and the Dinkytown Dongers.
And we will see how that match ends up. And then the next day, we continue our playoffs run at 9 p.m. So we will see you then. And thank you, Teddy, for joining me here on the cast today. Had a great time with you, and look forward to hopefully casting with you in the future.
Yep. Bye, chat.